Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. I'm so happy that you've come back to make a card with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you, and I hope you are inspired or at least enjoy what we do today. I'm doing a project, Stamping A to Z, where I'm trying to use all of the stamp sets that I have, at least once, and you might have something in your stash that's similar, maybe not exactly the same one, but similar to the one that we happen to be using. This week, we're at the back of the alphabet, and we're up to Thoughtful Blooms. Thoughtful Blooms had a little coordinating punch, a little posy punch, and the designer series paper that I'm going to use for my background came from, and I'd like to say this is a great way to use up your scraps, but I'm really only using 2 tiny pieces of scraps. So this was out of Very Delightful designer series paper. I really like the green gingham plaid back there, and I like these leaves. It was a toss-up on which one I was going to use. So spend a lot of time this morning doing some math here to get this card ready, and I did cut some of my flowers out already, or punch them out, but we're going to do another one here just to show you how I did them. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral as my pop of color on this card. And I'm going to use the detailed stamp for the little posy first and just stamp my flower. I might have to get a new case for my little cleaning pads there. I keep scratching my finger on it. Then I'm going to use the fill stamp, the little fill one, stamp it off one time, and fill in my detailed stamp. And before I close my ink up, there is a tiny little, there it is, this little star looking stamp in there. I'm going to use that, and Ella, please don't. I already knocked the camera off once today, and this is my second go. Stamp right in the center of my flower, just to give it a little bit more oomph, I guess. Now, she was being really good. She had a rolled up pair of socks that she thinks is her baby and was being a good girl, and now she's going to be bad again. Then I can line my posy up in the punch and pop it out, and there we go. Now, if you don't have the punch, you can always just stamp this directly onto your little card mat, and it's going to look just as beautiful as a punched one. Okay, what do I need next? Next, I need to give you some details about our cardstock. So I'm going to start with Garden Green. I haven't used Garden Green for a while. This is a half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that I have scored and folded in half to 4.25 by 5.5, and we're going to make this a landscape card today. Okay. And then Granny Apple Green I'm going to use for my mats, and this one is, and I will include all of these dimensions in the description box of this video. This mat is 4 1/8 by 2 5/8. I wanted to add a little bit of interest to my cards, so I decided to emboss. Get out there. You're not allowed to eat glue. And I picked up Petal Burst, but I think it looks like leaves, so I thought this was really pretty to put behind my flowers. And I only embossed the one panel. We have 2 more panels. And these are, Ella, please. All right, that's it. Last chance. You were being good, and now you're not. Nope, you're not. Take your little baby socks. Come on, go get them. Adios. So the two smaller mats will be 2 by 2 5/8. Then I cut some designer series paper. Each one of these are 2 3/8 by 1 3/4. I have a piece of Very Vanilla. I know that there's white in the plaid, but the white seemed a little stark to me, so I just used Very Vanilla instead, and I was happier with that. And that's what I stamped my flowers on as well. My Very Vanilla is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And somewhere I had one more small piece. Oh, did I just stamp my flower on that? I think I did. Used that one up right away, didn't I? I had one more piece of Very Vanilla cut at 2 1/4 by 1 5/8. 2 1/4 by 1 5/8. And that's just to put in the center of one of these, and because we're going to do some floral stamping here, I think I want to put my message up there. And I thought we could add a couple extra flowers on the bottom. I couldn't decide at first if I was going to use Calypso Coral or Poppy Parade. I don't know what made me decide to go with the coral. I've been in a coral mood lately. I don't know why. Okay, Garden Green. We're going to start doing some stamping. Hope everybody's doing great. Looks like I see some blue in the sky today. We don't get that often, so it's not real warm yet, but I'll take the blue skies. I'm going to stamp this pretty stamp that's kind of like, I don't know what you would call it. It's not really a wreathy design. It's not, I don't know, just some leaves, right? Just do that in some Garden Green in the center of my panel. Clean off my stamp. I have these everywhere. I have a card class coming up in a couple weeks, and I like this set so much, I actually designed a card for the ladies using this, so all my stamps are out for them. Oh, I can leave that because I have to do some leaves yet too. So I'm going to decide, I'm going to put 3 of the flowers on here. I think I'll put one here, maybe one there. I just need to know my placement so that I know what other small stems I can add a leaf to. I don't want to put a leaf and then cover it up with, well, I'll be covering it up so you won't see it, but I don't really want to cover up my leaves with a flower. So there is a teeny tiny leaf stamp in this set. So I'll add one there, and we'll put one over here. Okay, now I can close up my green for a little bit. We may use it again to add a stem to the extra flower down on the bottom, but not for the moment. And I did forget, I hadn't really decided what greeting I'm going to use. These are some little splatter marks on a stamp there. Which I suppose I could do now. Since, let me get that little scrap paper back that I was stamping off on, because I know when I do my little splatter stamps, I like to go off the edge of the paper. And how about, I want to use Granny Apple Green splatter spots. or, excuse me, let me see something here. No, I don't like the Poppy Parade with it. Starting to get too many colors. I don't want it to be a rainbow. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I touched that cord again. I already hit it once and froze the camera up. So I just got done berating myself and started again. Oh, before I started again, I did wrap some orange washi tape around that cord to remind myself, don't touch it. Do not touch the cord. Tough decision here. I don't know if I'm going to do Calypso Coral or Granny Apple Green Speckles. Granny Apple Green. Let's try it. On screen I am. That will work. Okay. Yes. Just need to remember when you do something like splatters or whatever behind your stamped image to turn your block around occasionally here so that you don't start making just a pattern. So between turning my block around and twisting my paper, it doesn't look like I'm just stamping in a row. That should be just fine. Okay. So I think we can get rid of this stuff and start gluing some stuff together. I'll keep my green ink handy. Not that one though. Garden green if we do another leaf. And we'll start putting, I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere decide which is my top, to adhere my flower panel to the background. I think I want it to go that way so that if I put flowers on the bottom, yeah. So where did I put them? I know I had dimensionals out because I just used them. And I didn't want to get that popsicle stick all over. I re-inked my one inker and I use a popsicle stick. Oh, there they are. Goodness, right in front of me. Tried to make it too easy for myself. See if it's not difficult. I don't know how to act. Yeah. One here. One there. One over that way a little bit. Okay. I'm going to need those again. So this set had some thank you greeting and congratulations. But I think congratulations isn't going to fit because our little panels are small. So I'm probably going to do a thank you with this one. And that's okay because thank yous are always a great card to have. I did use the extra thick Very Vanilla. So that's not going to show my little glue squiggles back there. I want it that way. Guess I have a second chance here to decide. We'll line the green up on my card and take a peek. One there, this way, that way. A or B? I think this way. Okay. Smooth this down a little bit more so it quits popping up on me. And oh, even the back of that emboss is pretty, isn't it? I usually make with the embossed part facing out, but the debossed part looks very pretty. So which way did I say was up? Don't talk to me for 2 seconds because then I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was doing this way. Okay. Good grief. And because that is embossed, I think I'm going to try to get that glue a little bit from the back. Just to make sure it's all stuck down there. All right. Keep that out. I don't need liquid glue for these because this is just flat paper on flat paper. So we can adhere the pattern paper to our mat for each one of these. Now I did cut these down. I know I usually use 1/8 of an inch, but when I did that, I couldn't see much of my embossed background, and that was making me sad. So I went with 1/4 inch borders on this card. Now when we add these panels to our card, we kind of want to make sure that we have an equal border around each one of these squares, lining up the top and the bottom to our panel on the left. And I think it's manageable. I don't want my plaids to look like they're right in a line. So what are y'all working on? I have been, I told you all about that journal I was going to start. I've been printing off my papers and I have stuff together. Cammie's been a little bit restless lately, so I can't stay up in my craft room for very long. She starts looking for me and I have to go downstairs and take care of her. So the stuff is getting put into a little box and ready to start sharing some ideas with folks in a little while. I do believe. Yeah, so I thought I could put a couple flowers here. And we will stamp our thank you on here. What do you think? See, and the very vanilla doesn't look that bad at all. I like it. I don't know why the white just wasn't doing it for me. Yeah. Ooh, that thank you is very small. I don't know that I like it that small. I might use something different. Give me 1 second here. I have some other sets out that I was... Oh, look. Let's do this. I could use a Get Well one. Sorry, I'm not meaning to crinkle in your ear there. Let's see. Scrappy paper here. Make sure that this is going to stamp straight because these don't have these stamps that are from the Rubber Cottage don't have the images on the back. How about, let's do that in Calypso Coral. Which one did I pick up? I don't even know. Hope you feel better soon. So, okay, I needed to go that way a little bit. Oh, what are you doing, Dee? Wow, am I off, huh? Good thing I'm trying this out first. Okay, don't be silly. That's better. I tend to make things a little more difficult than they need to be at times. Well, I'm going to turn it over because my hope is very light and I seem to be a little bit to the left. So let's straighten this up. Better. Woohoo! What did the other one say? Sorry to hear you're under the weather. But I think, Ashley, my inside I would leave blank just so that I would be able to write a little note in there. Okay. Let's put that on here. And if I'm going to add a couple flowers down here, I will need a stem. So I'm going to stamp my stem directly onto the Designer Series paper. And I also know that one of the stems I want to be a little shorter. So I do have a piece of scrap paper here. I don't want them to be exactly the same height. And to be honest, it's a long stem. So I will put this even with my Designer Series paper just in case I go off at the bottom. This is so weird looking at it through the block. Sometimes it makes it magnify. Okay. Yay. Now it's my little leaf. I'm making a shadow, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get over top of my card so I can see where I'm stamping. I guess I could have let go of that white paper. There we go. This was a quick one today. Quick and easy. think? How about that? Yeah? I like it. Sure do. Happy, happy. Got ink on that block. Alrighty. So if you're not feeling good, I hope you feel better soon too. And thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Everybody have a lovely weekend. Bye.